Hello student, in this video we are going to learn Introduction to Structural Analysis to the topic Fundamental of Structure and Concept of Indeterminacy. So before going to Introduction to Structural Analysis, we'll see the basic concept behind it, that the primary function of the structure is to receive the load, usually known as a service load, at a certain points and transmit them to safely to other points. In performing this primary function, the structure develops some internal forces in its component member known as structural elements. For example, beam, column, slab in case of RC frame. And it is the responsibility of a structural engineer to design all the structural element of a structural system in such a way that they perform the function adequately. The inadequacy of one or more structural element may lead to the malfunctioning or even collapse of entire structure. So, the object of structural analysis is to determine the internal forces and corresponding displacement of all structural elements as well as those of entire structural system. So, the safety of proper functioning of a structure can be ensured only through the proper structural analysis. So, the importance of structural analysis is not so much emphasized, it is so much important before going to design of structure. Classification of structure. So, structure is classified into three categories, that is skeletal structure, surface structure and solid structure. Let us discuss skeletal structure. Skeletal structure are those structures which can be idealized to a series of straight or curved lines. As the name suggests, the structure which look like a skeleton. The common example of skeletal structure are roof trusses, lattice girder and building frame. So the RC frame is also example of skeletal structure, or roof trusses is also example of skeletal structure. Mainly skeletal structure we analyze in a structural analysis, and surface structure and solid structure we analyze in a advanced structural analysis. Let us discuss surface structure. Surface structure are those structures which can be idealized to plane or curved surface, for example slab and shales. So these are some famous shale structure which we analyze in advanced structural analysis. Solid structure, the structure which neither we idealize to skeleton nor plane or curved surface, or we can say a mass construction, is called as solid structure, for example dam, cooling tower and bridges. So these two structures we analyze in a advanced structural analysis, and skeleton structure we analyze in a structural analysis. So let us discuss skeletal structure in detail. The skeletal structure can be further classified into two types: pin jointed frame and rigid jointed frame. Let us discuss pin jointed frame first. So the pin jointed frame, as the name suggests, the member of pin jointed frame are connected by means of pin joint. This frame supports the applied load by developing only axial forces in the constituted member, if the external forces act the joint only. So this is one example of pin jointed truss. Every member of the truss are straight and jointed at the joint with the help of pin joint, and external forces act only at the joint and member develop the axial forces in member only. The next is rigid joint frame. So the joint of rigid joint frame are assumed to be rigid so that angle between the member meeting at the joint remain unchanged. This frame resists the external forces by developing the bending moment, shear forces, axial forces and twisting moment in the member of the frame. So we can take an example of RC frame is a rigid jointed frame. Skeletal structure may also be classified as plane frame and space frame. So plane frame means all the member of the plane frame as well as the external load are assumed to be in one plane. So the structure which is in two dimension is called as plane frame, and all the member of the frame do not lie in one plane, that is space frame, which we called as three-dimensional structure. So this is the example of frame which we analyze in a plane frame or two-dimensional structure, And this is the same frame we analyze in a space frame or in 3 dimension. So let us discuss in detail that if I take an example of an element of any truss which will subject it to at every joint axial forces in x and y direction. Okay, but if same member we can analyze in a space truss, we analyze in a z direction also, means x directional force, y directional force and z directional force. So in case of plane truss we have two forces, and here we can say 3-dimensional forces. Similarly, in a plane frame also, if we consider a member of any plane frame structure, then it will be subjected to force in x direction, force in y direction, and third about z direction, it will rotate. So at every member or every joint of the plane frame is subjected to 3 number of unknowns. But if you take same member in a space structure, then it will be subjected to 6 number of unknowns reactions or unknown components, that is fx, fy and fz, and movements in all the direction, that is mx, my and mz. So 6 unknowns component in space frame we have and 3 unknown components in case of plane frames. So let us discuss first difference between pin jointed frame and rigid jointed frame. So before going to analysis, you must know the difference properly. So pin jointed frame, as the name suggests, the member of the pin jointed frame are connected by means of pin joint, and while in case of rigid joint, the joints are assumed to be rigid. Then external forces in case of pin jointed frame are act at the joint only, but in case of rigid jointed frame, it may act anywhere on the member. Then the pin jointed members carry only axial forces, but in case of rigid jointed frame member, they develop resist the forces by developing the bending moment, shear forces, axial forces and twisting moment. Then the major difference between pin jointed frame and rigid jointed frame is that the joint of the rigid joint are assumed to be hinge or pin, so that the angle between these two members will change when it is subjected to external forces. So you can see in this figure, this angle between these two members will change after the loading. But in case of rigid jointed frame, as the joint is rigid, the angle between the two members which are meeting at the joint will be remain unchanged when subject to external forces. You can see here before the loading the angle is 90 degree, and after the loading also the angle remain 90 degree, means this joint will behave as a single unit. It will rotate as a common unit. The angle remain unchanged. That is the major difference. And also rigid jointed frame members are subjected to only axial forces and develop only axial forces, and pin jointed force members are develop only axial forces, and rigid jointed frame members are develop only bending, axial, shear and twisting moment. Then we can again discuss pin jointed in truss can transmit forces but not movements, so member do not bend. Angle theta is free to change during the loading. You can see here that this is the truss members. Then rigid joint in a frame can transmit forces and movements, so there is a bending in the member and the theta is remain fixed during the loading. You can see in the joint, this joint will not change. Now let us discuss the concept of indeterminacy. So the structure are grouped into statically determinate and indeterminate structure. Let us discuss first statically determinate structure. A structural system which can be analyzed with the use of equation of static equilibrium only is called as statically determinate structure. For example, beam or truss. Now let us take first example, cantilever beam. So in case of cantilever beam, if you have to analyze this beam, the number of unknown reaction component in case of this beam which is available at the fixed support are 3. So to find out this unknown reaction, unknown reaction in y direction, unknown reaction in x direction and the movement, to find out this unknown, we have 3 conditions of equilibrium, that is summation of x is equal to 0, summation of y is equal to 0 and summation of movement is equal to 0. So with the help of this condition we can find out this unknown easily. So this beam becomes statically determinate structure or statically determinate beam. Similarly, in case of simply supported beam also, we have 3 unknown reaction components. At roller support we have 1 unknown, and at hinge support at two unknowns. So the total unknown in case of this beam is 3. So we can solve these unknowns by condition of equilibrium. So this beam is also statically determinate beam. Now, statically indeterminate structures. A structural system which cannot be analyzed with the help of static equilibrium equation only, that structure becomes statically indeterminate structure. For example, fixed beam, continuous beam and prof cantilever is an example of statically indeterminate structure. Let us discuss first fixed beam. So this is a fixed beam. If you find out the number of unknown reaction component in this beam, then at A point it's a fixed support. So by neglecting the axial deformation, means deformation in x direction, we have number of unknowns at this fixed support are 2, one in y direction and the one is rotation. And similarly at B also we have 2 unknowns. So total number of unknown reactions are 4. But we have only 3 conditions of equilibrium. So we cannot find out the unknowns by the condition of equilibrium in case of fixed beam. So the fixed beam is become statically indeterminate beam. Similarly, it is same for continuous beam also. The beam which is continue over many support is called as continuous beam. And if you find out the number of unknowns present in this beam, there are also 4. So 2 at this hinge support, 1 is at this B roller support and 1 is also at roller support C. So the total number of unknowns in case of continuous beam is also 4, and that we cannot find out by using the condition of equilibrium. So this beam become also statically indeterminate beam. Now the last beam is a fixed, prop cantilever beam. So the one end of the beam is fixed and another end is supported on a roller support. So it's an example of, it's nothing but the prop cantilever beam. And if you analyze this beam, then the total number of unknown reaction at the fixed supports are 3, AX, AY and moment, and unknown reaction at C is 1. So the total number of unknown reaction in case of prop cantilever is also 4, and that we cannot find out with the help of static equilibrium equation because we have 4 unknowns and condition of equilibrium we have 3. So that becomes statically indeterminate beam. So simply, if you consider determinate structure, it is nothing but the number of unknowns is equal to number of equilibrium equation, then the structure is determinate. But if number of unknowns are greater than number of equilibrium equation, then the structure become indeterminate structure. So what is degree of static indeterminacy? So static indeterminate structure are those which cannot be analyzed with the help of equation of static equilibrium equation alone. And for the analysis of this type of structure, it is very necessary to find out the deformation equation, because equation of static alone we cannot are not sufficient for the solution of problem. So in case of statically indeterminate structure, the number of unknowns are greater than the number of independent equation which we derived from the equilibrium condition. So some additional equation we required for based on the compatibility of deformation for solving or for getting the sufficient number of equation for determination of all the unknowns. So this number of additional equation necessary for the solution of problem is known as degree of static indeterminacy of the structure. So degree of static indeterminacy of the structure may be considered as a sum of following 2 types of indeterminacy. First one, degree of external indeterminacy, DAC, and degree of internal indeterminacy, that is DSI. So the total degree of static indeterminacy is equal to DAC plus DSI, that is degree of external indeterminacy plus degree of internal indeterminacy. Now let us discuss first degree of external indeterminacy, that is DAC. The degree of external indeterminacy is related to the support system of the structure. Means for plane frame, DAC is equal to R minus 3, where R stands for number of unknown reaction components in the structure and 3 is nothing but number of available unknowns equations we have with us. So we have 3 unknown reactions component, where the summation of x, summation of y and summation of moment. So DAC is equal to R minus 3. And for space frame, similarly we can write down DAC is equal to R minus 6, because we have a 6 unknown unknown equations for a space frame, where R is number of independent external reaction components. We are going to focus more on plane frame in a structural analysis. Space frame we analyze in advanced structural analysis. So we more focus on a plane frame structure. So degree of static external indeterminacy for a plane frame is R minus 3. Now degree of internal indeterminacy DSI in developing a clear understanding of degree of internal indeterminacy of skeletal structure, it is convenient to consider pinch jointed and rigid jointed separately. So for pinch jointed plane frame, we check the stability of structure by this equation. Means in case of truss, if you consider pinch jointed truss, then we check the stability of structure by this equation, that is M is equal to 2j minus 3, where M stands for member of the truss and J stands for number of joint in the truss. So if this equation is satisfied by the frame, then that frame is called as a statically internally determinate frame, or we can say stable frame. But if in any frame M is less than 2j minus 3, then that frame is statically internally indeterminate frame, or we can say understable frame. And the last one, when M is greater than 2j minus 3, then that frame is also statically internally indeterminate frame, or we can say overstable frame. So the equation becomes DSI is equal to M minus 2j minus 3 for pinch jointed plane frame. So the total degree of static indeterminacy is equal to DSE plus DSI. So DSE for pinch jointed frame is R minus 3 and DSI is M minus 2j minus 3. So if you overview that formula again, that formula becomes ds is equal to r plus m minus 2j. So this is the final formula to find out the degree of static indeterminacy for pinch jointed plane frame. Then pinch jointed space frame, the equation become m minus 3j minus 6. So the final equation is r plus 3m minus 3j. Now let us find out the degree of static indeterminacy of the truss or for pinch jointed plane frame shown in figure. So this is the pinch jointed plane frame. You can find out the degree of static indeterminacy of this structure with the help of the equation. ds is equal to again r plus m minus 2j, where r stands for number of unknown reaction component which are present at the supports, m stands for number of member in the truss, and j stands for number of joint in the truss. So if you find out the number of unknown reaction at this truss, we have two unknown reaction at the hinge support, at this first hinge support, and two unknown reaction at this second hinge support. So the total unknown reaction R in this case is 4. So R is 4 plus member of the truss are 10. So 10 minus joints are 6. So 2 into 6. So we got a degree of static indeterminacy is 2. It means that this truss is statically indeterminate and we required two more additional equations to solve these unknowns so that the structure become determinate. Now for rigid jointed frame, this is one concept for finding out the statically indeterminacy of this frame. So a rigid jointed frame is a statically determinate internally if its member form an open configuration. Means an open configuration means there are no loops or closed cell. So if a rigid jointed structure does not have an open configuration, then it becomes statically internally indeterminate. So statically indeterminate structure may be converted into statically determinate structure by making a sufficient number of cuts so that the resulting configuration is open. So if you are at each cut, 3 reaction components are released in case of plane structure and 6 reaction components in case of space structure. So if you want to find out the degree of static indeterminacy for rigid jointed plane frame, the DSI equation becomes 3 into C, where C stands for number of cuts required for obtaining the open configuration, means for obtaining the statically determinate structure. And in case of space frame, it becomes 6 into C. So 3 is nothing but number of available equation we have for rigid jointed frame, plane frame, and 6 is nothing but the number of available equation for rigid jointed space frame. So this is one concept for finding out the degree of static indeterminacy, internally indeterminacy for rigid jointed frame. But we can find out this static indeterminacy without using this concept by directly using the unified view. Means what? So if you consider this is one RC frame, and if you have to find out the degree of static indeterminacy of any RC frame, then it will be equal to simply ds is equal to number of unknowns minus number of available equations. Now number of unknowns is sum into number of external unknowns plus number of internal unknowns minus number of available equations. So let us take one simple frame. So if you want to find out the degree of static indeterminacy of this rigid jointed plane frame, then here we have to find out the number of unknowns. So number of unknowns, external unknowns means supports. So at supports, whatever unknowns you will get, that is external unknowns, which is denoted by term R. So if you take this hinge support, so number of unknowns present at this hinge support and at this hinge support is external unknowns, which is denoted by the term R. And internal unknowns means member forces. So because of any applied load, rigid jointed will subjected to the three types of forces, that is axial forces, bending moment and shear forces. So the every member will subjected to three actions, so that's why 3 into m. So external unknowns are R, internal unknowns is 3 into m minus 3 into joint. Means what? 3 into j means number of available equation at every joint. We have 3 for rigid jointed plane frame. That every joint will subjected to Fx, Fy and moment. So 3 into j. So this is the unified view of degree of static indeterminacy, that is R plus 3m minus 3j for a rigid jointed plane frame. Similarly, we can write down for space frame only by changing the number of unknown available equation, that is R plus 6 into m, that is every member of the space frame is subject to 6 actions in different direction, and 6 into joint. So R plus 6m minus 6j. Now to determine the degree of static indeterminacy of the frame shown in figure, so let us discuss with the example. Let us take first example of any frame which is supported on a hinge support. So if you have to find out the degree of static indeterminacy of this frame, then the formula will be remain same, R plus 3m minus 3j. So where R in this frame, number of unknown reaction component at this hinge support are 2 and at this hinge support is 2. So total unknown reaction at this support are 4. So number of unknown reaction are 4 and every member of the frame is subject to 3 actions, that is axial forces, bending moment and shear forces, minus 3 into joint. So number of unknown reaction at this in this frame are 4. So 4 plus number of member forces are 3. So 3 into 3 minus 3 into number of joints in case in this frame are 4. So 3 into 4. So total degree of static indeterminacy in this case is 1. So this frame becomes statically determinate or statically indeterminate frame. So if you have to convert this statically indeterminate frame into determinate, then we have to use one more additional equations to find out the unknowns. Then another is this frame. If you have to find out the degree of static indeterminacy of this frame, then again we have to use the equation ds is equal to R plus 3m minus 3j. So ds is equal to number of unknown reaction R in this case or in this frame, which is equal to at this fixed supports are 3 number of unknown reactions, and at hinge support we have 2 unknown reactions. So the total unknown reaction component is 5. So R is 5. Number of members are 9 and number of joints are 8. If you solve this equation, we got ds is equal to 8. So to convert this frame into statically determinate frame, we require 8 more additional equations to find out the unknowns. Let us discuss now degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the structure. Now let us discuss another concept of indeterminacy, that is degree of kinematic indeterminacy. A skeletal structure is said to be kinematically indeterminate if the displacement component of its joint cannot be determined by compatibility equation alone. So in case of kinematically indeterminate structure, the number of unknown displacement component is greater than number of compatibility equation. So for a structure, additional equation based on the equilibrium equation must be written in order to obtain the sufficient number of equations for the determination of all the unknown displacement components. So the number of these additional equations necessary for the determination of all the independent displacement component is known as degree of kinematic indeterminacy or the degree of freedom of the structure. So simply degree of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy is denoted by the term DKI. Means degree of freedom is defined as the number of non-zero displacement of the joint in the structure simply. So for example, we can discuss with the types of joint. So let us take first fixed joint. So possible displacement, if you have to take at any joint, it will be displacement in x direction, which is denoted by the term u, displacement in y direction, which is denoted by the term v, and rotation of the joint, that is theta. So if you let us take a first joint, that is a fixed joint or a fixed support. So if you consider its possible displacement, that the fixed joint is not allowed to move in x direction, not allowed to move in y direction, and rotation of the joint is also not possible. So the possible displacement in case of fixed support is 0. Means degree of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy will be 0, because what is degree of kinematic indeterminacy? It is non-zero displacement component. So non-zero displacement component is 0 in this case. Okay. So hinge support. So if you take an example of hinge support, this hinge support will not allow to move in x direction, also not allowed to move in y direction, but the rotation of the joint may possible. So possible displacement in this case is only theta for hinge support. So the possible displacement is 1, means degree of kinematic indeterminacy is also 1. Now next support is roller support. Now this roller support is only allowed to move in x direction, means u is only possible and rotation of the joint is possible, but it is not allowed to move in vertical direction. So possible displacement in vertical direction is not possible, but u and theta is possible. So the possible displacements are 2, means degree of freedom are 2. But there is one more concept in case of a rigid jointed frame, that if you neglect the axial deformation of the frame, means this support will not allow to move in this vertical direction as well as horizontal direction. Then we only ignore, by ignoring that displacement in x direction, x and y direction, only we take a rotation, then your degree of freedom will reduces to only 1 by neglecting the axial deformation. But if you not neglect it axial deformation, the degree of freedom remain 2. Then rigid joint. In case of rigid jointed frame, whatever joint you provide between the two members is a rigid joint, but this rigid joint will allow to move in x direction, y direction, and also the rotation of the joint is also possible. So the possible displacement in this case will be u, v, theta. So the degree of static indeterminacy also 3, and if you ignore one axial deformation, that is v, then degree of kinematic indeterminacy or degree of freedom reduces to 2. Now determine the degree of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy dki neglecting the axial deformation. So let us take a first example of cantilever beam. So if you have to find out the decay of this cantilever beam, then you have to observe the joint A and joint B. So if you observe the joint A, joint A is a fixed joint or fixed support, so the possible displacement at fixed joint is 0, and joint B is free, means it is allowed to move in vertical direction and it will rotate. So the decay of this beam is at this joint is 0, but at the free joint, by neglecting the axial deformation, means this B joint will not allow to move in x direction, but it will move in vertical direction and the rotation of the joint may possible. So possible displacement at this joint is 2. So the decay of this figure are 2. So which is V and theta. The second is prop cantilever. So again in this case, at A joint, which is a fixed joint, so possible displacement is 0, and at B joint, axial deformation in this direction we ignore it, but vertical direction displacement is also not possible because of this roller support. So the possible displacement of the B joint or B support is only 1, which is a rotation. So the degree of kinematic indeterminacy is only 1, which is theta. Now third one is a fixed beam. So the both end of the beam is supported on a fixed support, so the possible displacement in both the supports are 0. So decay of this beam is 0. Fourth one is a frame, a RC frame, which is supported on fixed support. So if you have to find out the decay of this figure, it's very simple. If you have only have to observe the joints. So if you observe the joint A or support D, both are fixed supports. So the possible displacement at A and D will be 0. But if you observe the B and C joint, then these two joints will allow to rotate and also allow to displace in x and y direction. But here X directional displacement we have to take as a single unit, because this RC frame will only sway in one direction with a constant displacement. So these two displacement we have to consider as one displacement. And vertical displacement we ignore it, because of this fixity we will not allow to move in vertical direction. So that also we have to ignore, or we have to not consider. But the B joint will rotate, so theta B is possible. So there is a one possible displacement at the joint is theta B, and another rotation at this C joint is there, so that is theta C. So the total decay of this figure is displacement in X direction as a whole unit, then the rotation of B joint and rotation of C joint. So the possible displacement are 3, so decay of this frame is also 3. So dear students, in this video, here as we learn the concept of indeterminacy of the structure. Thank you.